Today I'm at the iconic Brands Hatch race circuit for American Speedfest 2026. I love it. The roar of engines, the whiff of petrol in the air, and everywhere I look, iconic American cars all over the place. Awesome. I'm Stuart McLachlan, but you can call me that guy in the Firebird. Stick around. This is going to be epic.
So high, feet on the ground, but I still get by. The rules were made for someone else to try, but not me, not me. They said slow down, son, take your time, but I was born running every stop sign. Sky is the limit, no chance to hold.
It's Optimus Prime. TV and movie cars always draw a crowd. I talked about this in my recent Star Cars video. I'll put the link below if you'd like to check that out. This is proving to be very popular, and there are a number of other iconic vehicles here today. I'll show you some of them now.
I got my head in the clouds so high, feet on the ground, but I still get by. The rules were made for someone else to try, but not me, not me. They said slow down, son, take your time, but I was born running every stop sign. Sky is the limit, no chance to hold. Sky is the limit, I'm breaking the mold. Sky is the limit, I'm out of control tonight.
I believe the most common American car you will see at a show like this is the Ford Mustang, and there's certainly lots on display here today. Cars from 1964 all the way up to present day.
Every scar reminds me why I came. I've been broke, I've been blessed, carry faith in an empty chest till now. The stars are down like good old friends, saying, boy, don't stop where the sky just ends. Sky is the limit, no chance to hold. Sky is the limit, I'm breaking the mold. Sky is the limit, I'm out of control tonight.
I sense a disturbance in the force. Would you concur?
I would, but the force is strong with you.
American Speedfest is a weekend event. I arrived on Friday, it's now Sunday, and I've been staying on the campsite, which is fun in itself. On Saturday, it poured with rain all day. It was wet, it was windy, it was cold, but I still enjoyed myself. I'm now going to show you some of the footage I managed to capture. Saturday wasn't exactly the fairy tale version of Speedfest. I could have skipped over it in this video entirely and pretended the whole weekend looked like Sunday, but that wouldn't really be an honest reflection of the event, and besides, anyone who was actually there would probably be wondering why I'd conveniently forgotten half the weekend. Even with the weather doing its best to ruin everyone's plans, there were still some memorable moments worth sharing. I didn't film as much as I normally would. My enthusiasm for documenting the event was slightly outweighed by my desire not to destroy my recording equipment, but I did manage to capture a few highlights. One of the things I was most interested in seeing was the NASCAR Euro Series. Most of my footage was filmed near the start-finish straight, standing behind the fence alongside a collection of spectators who had collectively decided that being soaked was a reasonable price to pay for motorsport. Everywhere you looked, people were trying to stay dry. Some had umbrellas, some had ponchos, some had clearly abandoned hope entirely. It was nice seeing families enjoying the racing together, although I couldn't help wondering whether some of the younger members of the audience shared the same enthusiasm, or were simply counting down the minutes until they could return to a warm car. Still, Brands Hatch always delivers. It's one of the most enjoyable circuits to watch from a spectator's perspective, and wet conditions only add another layer of drama. Unlike NASCAR in America, rain doesn't stop play here. If British motorsport waited for perfect weather, we'd never race at all. The drivers understandably weren't pushing quite as hard as they would on a dry track, but the constantly changing grip levels meant every lap carried a little extra tension. You always felt as though one small mistake could end with a trip into the tyre wall. Thankfully, the drivers kept things impressively tidy. Far more tidy than most of the spectators looked by the end of the day. Away from the circuit, I also spent some time watching the live-action arena show. One by one, the performers took center stage. There were the ever-popular Big Pete and Grim Reaper monster trucks launching themselves into the air, crushing family hatchbacks in the process. Drifters doing things that would terrify most insurance companies. Three-quarter-size stock car replicas tearing up the tarmac. And even drift trucks somehow producing huge clouds of smoke despite the fact the ground was wetter than a garden pond. The conditions may have been miserable, but the show certainly wasn't. By the end, with all the vehicles out together, the arena felt more like organised chaos than a stunt display. And I mean that as a compliment. Eventually, the rain eased off, the evening rolled in, and attention shifted towards the main music stage. I'd heard good things about Cammy Barnes before the event, but seeing him perform live was something else. In an industry that can sometimes feel a little manufactured, he comes across as genuinely authentic, a brilliant songwriter, a distinctive voice, and unapologetically Scottish. Any artist confident enough to work bagpipes into country music deserves some respect. The crowd certainly seemed to agree. Despite the cold temperatures and the lingering wind, everyone appeared to be having a fantastic time, and honestly, it was the perfect way to end the day. Saturday may have tested everyone's waterproof clothing to its absolute limits, but Cammy Barnes sent people home smiling. And after that, all that remained was to hope the weather forecast for Sunday was finally telling the truth. Thankfully, it was. Let's now jump back to the sunshine for a few things I haven't shown you yet. One of the most memorable things you can do if you come to American Speedfest at Brands Hatch is the grid walk. You have to have a special wristband to be allowed onto the track, but once you're here, as you can see, it's incredible. There's people everywhere. You get to meet the drivers, have your photo taken, get their autographs, all that sort of thing. I'd really recommend it. If you're going to come down, you must do this. Time for some Euro NASCAR action. I'm in the grandstands right at the top because the view is incredible. Let's do this. We are just moments away from my favourite part of American Speedfest, the Sunday evening parade lap. All of those fantastic cars we've seen displayed over the weekend will be hurtling around the track any moment soon. If you know this track, I'm going to head over to Druid's Corner because that should provide a pretty good vantage spot. To watch the complete uninterrupted parade lap from this vantage point, check out my bonus video, the link is below. As the sun sets on American Speedfest at Brands Hatch for another year, so too does my video, and I'd like to thank you for watching it. I'd love to know your thoughts about this year's show. Were you also there? How did it compare with previous events? If you haven't been before, would you consider trying it in 2027? I've been Stuart McLachlan, and as always, you can call me that guy in the Firebird. If I had to sum up this experience, I'd simply quote the great philosopher Dolly Parton, who said, "The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain."
I got my head in the clouds so high, feet on the ground, but I still get by. Rules were made for someone else to try.